there is still merit to practicing drawing, and it is that you can get a lot of ideas out quickly if you have the ability to get a lot of ideas out quickly and have them stabilize in a form that you actually want to stabilize at the pace that you can conceive the ideas. In this video, I want to say thank you to a subscriber on Patreon who made it possible for me to gift my peers on TikTok, which makes it easier for me to have the kinds of conversations that energize all of us. In a similar and or separate thread, I'm going to say develop a style, practice a rhythm, and publish oscillation. Describe that you do publish videos on TikTok or whichever platform. I'd like to publish more on Patreon to say thank you to the person who subscribed to my weekly tier. I have been paying more attention to the weekly value that I provide, and I haven't associated that with anything automated on Patreon yet because I want to mind automation. So I like the idea of just publishing things that I've done before, and a lot has been changing with the ways people relate to modern technology. So I do have thoughts about that, and new people have been added to different clusters of focus. How do I say that? Different group chats, different channels of organized intent. Like we're all trying to get hired. We're all trying to say, hey, we have skills that apply to future work as well. So things like that. I'm going through some paintings and describing where they are currently. June 2nd, 2026. I made this a few days ago. Thursday, May 28th. Today is Tuesday. So RPG Wednesday is tomorrow. RPG Wednesday is a day where you can describe a character idea and improvise with whatever. You can describe, like, what if this is something saying pow and doing an uppercut somewhere, and that's just like an action scene. So that can be a prompt. You can like the color scheme of this drawing, for example, or this painting, and want it to represent what is in this painting. So that is an option with these paintings. Anything else? Practicing typography. Grok Imagine is pretty creative. You can explore physics. You can explore novel physics. You can integrate something that ChatGPT renders from your paintings and interpret them with Midjourney as well. Develop style references and share those with other people. Have conversations about what's interesting. I'm exploring speech bubble physics. I'm exploring component library design. So, as a web developer, I've experienced a few waves of component design, starting with jQuery, jQuery UI, and Bootstrap as kind of like a philosophical JavaScript something, library structure for organization, philosophy about object-oriented programming, etc. Laravel, Symfony, PHP Land, into TypeScript, React. What more to say? Python in college for scripting and convenience. Anything else that's relevant? Developing my own language for about a decade. So I do have an amount of experience relating to the shapes of abstraction. I'm curious about forming a component library from art, developing a component library, and making that available for different companies that want to reduce their token spends. So what are the styles that people have a relationship to already? I've been promoting my style for a while, and I can increment it gradually. I have a relationship to a pace of development that is communicable and extensible, and I appreciate that. I recently painted this painting. I can talk about it. I can have conversations about the reasons why I included certain structures for RPG Wednesday, for example. Is that Andrew here? Yes, RPG Wednesday. Popcorn pet boon hunk kernel for genre bending. The idea is that the popcorn pet that represents the streak pet for TikTok group chats, at least in 2026, can be an anchor for improvisation, an anchor for play, a reason to consider a context for our paintings. So this kind of looks like a, I'm not sure, like a boiler room or some sort of ruby artifact. In the back, this kind of funky. It kind of looks like an alien looking at the time, looking at the watch and sprinting away. Something like that. Kind of looks like a feather. Kind of looks like a water, like pipes maybe. This looks kind of like a beach, sandy waves. Like a person, an oracle looking at an orb. It kind of feels nuclear. It kind of feels like a meadow to me. Personally, I've been developing this language for a while, this visual language. The idea is that the braces in C-style languages would be interpreted as their own operator. So braces are operators instead of just delimiters. That's a concept. And a concept is that ideas or attention would flow from the objective brace to the subjective brace. And then we can explore this model in multiple dimensions and associate how attention flows into modern contexts and start doing some calculus there. So that's this scene. What do y'all think? If y'all leave comments, I can respond to them, make other videos that are relevant. Otherwise, I'm going to draw while my phone charges, and in the meantime, also develop some software. My goal is to make my website interactive enough so I can bumble through improvised dialogue. So I can improvise dialogue while I'm recording myself navigating my website, just like I do with these paintings. I want to have a site that I can read and also describe the reasons why something that I'm developing, like organization, would be easier. I'm working on a movie that's coming out in 2027. Technically, I can ask AI to come out with a movie for 2027, but I think that's boring. I had one planned to come out with, like, as a pilot in 2025. Fortunately, I lost the setup for that. So, exploring new filmmaking techniques in 2026 is it's been a work in progress. I'm practicing doing that. And one of the ways that I like to do that is by exploring web development as a creative endeavor. So right now, my website is designed to be informative. You can ask your language model to crawl my site and develop a curriculum for something that you're curious about. I'm exploring design, specifically speech bubble physics, to create a component library. And this language that I've been developing, Swoop, is meant to be a visual language that can kind of tie in the tropes of design, tropes of typographical design, into material science, metaphysics, etc. I have different colors of paper, different dimensions of conception, etc. So stay tuned. Cheers.